Welcome to another episode of Raw Emotions with your girl, B Brown Revolutionary.
And sunshine, la reina.
And today we want to talk about the fade in the water. But before we get into the fade in the water, I would like for you guys to take a listen to this.
They caught a fade in the water. Fade in the water, children. Fade in the water. They floated
They
around and found out in
found out
that
in that
water.
water.
They caught a fade in the water.
Come on now.
Fade in the
Yes.
water, children. Fade
Come on
in the
now.
water. They
Take us
floated
home.
around and found out in that water.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Yes, God.
if you don't know about the fade in the water, then you probably just have not been on the planet Earth.
Under a rock, under a bush.
I mean, maybe even in another country, who knows? But I'm sure they know about the fade in the water
And nobody
because
cares.
it's been the hottest topic for the last 2 weeks.
Yes. Yes.
And we just wanted to touch on this topic because everybody have formed their opinion. Everything that came out, it was a brawl. The chair has become famous.
Mm.
I mean, it's just so many things that have went on since the fade in the water.
The necklaces, the shirts, the earrings, the nails. They have nails.
Yeah, they got
Okay.
fade in the water nails. And everybody know about the hat signal.
Yes. Yes.
When you're in trouble, you just throw it up in the air, baby.
I saw one that had the kente cloth hat up in the bat symbol type thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was classic. It was
It was
classic.
classy.
It was.
Well, we wanted to come on here and we just wanted to go a little bit in depth with this fade in the water situation. Now, the day that I heard about the fade in the water, I was actually at a going back to school church event.
Hmm.
And someone was like, honey, they've been talking about it all day, honey. You heard about the fade in the water? And I'm like, no, I ain't heard about the fade in the water. What happened? Lo and behold, when I finally had a chance to get online and look, everybody was talking about it.
Yes, everybody.
Everybody was talking about it. And baby, when I tell you, it was something to know about.
I saw it
Um,
on my morning news. That's how I found out about it on the morning news in Philly,
way up in Philly.
all the way up in Philadelphia, all the way up here.
Well, the situation really was a classic situation of, baby, just do what you're supposed to do.
Don't be arguing. Stop feeling so entitled to stuff. Like, no, just you weren't supposed to be there. Just go, go on. Just go on now. Just go on.
Go head on now. Don't be doing all that. But yet and still, some of us in life, we cannot go on in life without keeping up so much mess and turmoil because we feel so entitled to things when, actuality, we all got to follow the rules. Like if there were not rules to this world, it would be in chaos.
True. Very
Do you
true.
agree? You agree, Sunshine?
Very much facts. There needs to be some kind of rules and regulations, and people need to respect this and not feel like they are above reproach. That's how I feel.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. So, with that being said, if you don't know by now, what happened was the Marriott was trying to dock. It had like 200 people on the boat. And it's this group of people um, that's always coming through around about that same time.
Uh huh.
And they decided that they was just going to do what they wanted to do. They were not going to move their boat so the Marriott full of people could get through. And to be honest, Why are you being disrespectful? Because to me, that's just disrespectful.
Well,
That's disrespectful.
well, they say if they have done it before and no one had, you know what I'm saying? If no one had bothered to be like, no, you can't do this. So they probably just felt entitled
Well,
to do
they
what they
had
wanted to do.
trouble with them before. And let's just listen to this situation. We have a video for you guys to check out because one thing about it, right is right and wrong is wrong. And in this situation, it was just some entitled people that was wrong.
All the way
And
around.
all the way around, there's no other way to say it. And you know how sometimes people don't want to live up to their wrongdoings. They want to be known as we can do what we want to do. But what I have right here is the captain of the boat was speaking with Joey Clark. It's a show, News Talk 93.1 FM from Montgomery. And I'm gonna let you hear exactly what he said. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but if you want to go back, you can definitely go back and listen to what was said. But the captain is gonna tell you in his own words, what happened, and also how they have had problems with the group of people before. Take a listen.
The guys that all y'all who work together, y'all seem pretty tight. Like this isn't just a day job. Like these are folks that it's a kind of a work family, right?
Well, they're shipmates. Shipmates is,
right.
Different than most jobs where people work together and go home. Some of these crew, like we just got back from bringing the boat back from Mobile. We were on there for 7 days. Spending the night, watching movies, when we're doing the work, getting the boat up. Being a team, and cleaning the boat too, coming up the river.
Well,
and shipmates are like a team, and I want to make one point. I do want to make is sure. It wasn't a black and white thing. I had every single white crew member, male, on the boat was on the dock. I mean, it wasn't like this was our crew upset about these idiots. Basically. And this group, this is the same group that comes every year. They're from Selma, and we've had trouble with them in the past, but just like jokey things. Like a couple of years ago, the same group was here. We came back from a cruise, and our golf cart was missing. We use a golf cart to get seniors and handicapped back up to the parking lot. So when it was missing, we finally found it in the Hampton Inn lobby. And we looked at the Hampton Inn video, found out who did it, and we had them come down, and we were going to press charges in, but the police, talked the side of it, saying this may not be so serious to press charges. So we let it slide.
They should have.
We've done little pranks and stuff like that. I didn't think it was a big deal. When I saw that all those boats there, I knew exactly who it was. They come every year about the same time.
Well, unfortunately, they're getting they probably from what I saw, the moment where you said it's your most senior first mate, you're saying, who is the gentleman who's attacked initially, and they're ganging up on him. I'm like, okay, y'all just crossed a line there where you kind of got what's coming to you. I hear where you're kind of trying to keep everybody back, like the police are coming. Let's not make this worse than it should be. But I think folks are now doing some internet detective work, and they've already figured out exactly who these people are.
Very much so. Shut them down. Shut them down.
Yeah, we know exactly who they are. We're pressing charges. I'm pressing charges, and the white crew member that I had on the dock that was helping. He's just a young guy, He looks big, but he's just a kid still. He's 16, and their family's pressing charges. So
they all should.
And we know exactly who it is, who did it.
And this is after there was a huge journey y'all had to do after getting some just updates and maintenance done. There was that big 22-day quest back up the river. So I know these journeys have been going on now since we've.
All right. So you heard from the captain himself. Not only had they had trouble from these group of people before, but they should have pressed charges. But guess what? The police talked them out of it.
I wonder what. Now they said that they had done some jokey things before. I don't know what that means, like stealing the golf cart, whatever. So, why did they choose violence now?
Well, I feel like at this point in time they was drunk. It was alcohol involved, most
Mm-hmm.
definitely. And when he asked them to move it, they just felt like, they ain't never, had no repercussions in the past. Why we have some now?
Well, they didn't have from them, but the people came and issued reperations, and repercussions.
This is true.
I'm just
I
saying.
want to give a shout out to Quell. Good evening, Quell.
Good evening.
Once again, we are touching on the fade in the water because this situation goes a little deeper than just a Montgomery brawl.
Very
A
much so.
Montgomery brawl is just a group of people, they together somewhere and they get into it. That is not what happened. These people started this whole situation,
Very much
and
so.
they should be persecuted for what they did.
They should have. It was what was it? Six men, five men and a woman ganged up on a single man. Could you imagine what would have happened if no one was there and no one showed up? No one helped this man. Could you imagine what could have happened?
Well, as you can see in this first slide, he is trying to tell them, move your boat, please. Then, as you can see, the very entitled one decided that he's gonna take a jab at what I'm saying, the crew member here. Like, why did you decide it was time to put hands on this man? This man did not put hands on you.
Exactly. He was doing his job. He's
And
the senior most high person besides the captain on the ship. He's doing his job.
exactly. And he's been there for years. Then, as you can see right here, after that, here comes the mob of thugs.
Yes.
Mhm.
Heathens. Because that's what they are. It's a mob.
Yeah. Like, why did you guys come and decide that it was time to jump this man? Like,
He's on the ground.
he's on the ground. I'm thinking that y'all got to be heavily sedated with alcoholic beverages because you were not thinking at all.
Now, I just don't understand what correlated to I'm going to put my hands on you. You're telling me I am not allowed to do something that I am doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all get a little tipsy. I've never in my tipsiness been told something and be like, no, I'm doing something wrong, and be like, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm like, you're right, my bad. Because I'm tipsy and I don't want no more trouble than I'm already in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
Exactly.
you're driving a boat in the water. I don't think you should be able to do that drinking. So like,
Okay.
mosey on. Just mosey on along.
Right. And then after that, then we got the hat signal went up in the air. The hat signal went up in the air. And once the hat signal went up in the air, you already know what happened. You see the people up on the balcony watching.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm sorry. Like when that day happened, as a black person, I felt very black. I felt so black with the fact that they saw something and they stepped in. I know it may not have been a black thing or a white thing. However, it was just like, as a community, there was a coming together.
Exactly. And Tanja said they weren't tipsy.
What you know, Tanja? Because I'm nosy. Girl. Yeah,
And
he was
she puts the emoji of Aquaman up there.
She
which
messed.
we all know after he threw the hat up in the air and put the signal out, then like
the people came
and he actually was doing a pretty good job by himself.
He really was. He was handling his little business.
Right. And to be a senior, like, come on, like I could never disrespect a senior the way that man disrespected this senior.
Apparently he was like
ever.
62. But see,
Yeah.
that's another thing. Like, I don't know. I'm raised different, and I could never even try to incite violence. Like, I'm not trying to raise my voice. I'm like, you know what? All right, sorry, my bad. And I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna keep pushing. But like to just initiate violence, that's just not what you do.
No.
And then look at you. Look at Karma. You got beat up.
Yeah.
You got beat up.
Quail says, shout out to the young man that jumped in the water to swim to the rescue.
Yes.
Aquaman. As you can see right here in this slide, Aquaman is in the water.
Period. The first one to swim to a fade.
Yeah, he swam. And then, as everything was over with, warrants were issued in the dock brawl. Mayor says violence shouldn't have happened. Absolutely correctly. It should not have happened.
Very much so. But see, this is my problem with the whole narrative. The whole narrative is that there should not have been a response. Mm-hmm. My problem is there should never have been an initiation of violence.
Right.
It's a cause and effect. If he would have just went about his business and was like, you know what, you're right, I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, and carried on, and instead he chose to put his hands on that man, that's the initiation of the violence. So why are we not talking about that? Why are we talking about the response? It's always the response that's talked about, never the act that caused the response.
Right.
That's what needs to be talked about.
Exactly. And that's why we are here. Tanja said, I believe Moore should have helped, but his crew made it, and them blue shirts started coming off. Come on with it.
Period.
And Quail said, right, actions cause reaction.
Exactly.
Tanja says, when they come with violence, we respond with violence.
Very much so.
She said, damn the high road.
Very much so.
Taylor said, violence is never the answer.
However, when violence is their answer, what should be done? Should we just sit and just get beat upon, spit upon, dogs set upon us, things of that? No. If you hit me, I'm finna hit you back. That's on period.
I mean, it's just kind of just at the point now where I'm like, don't mess with me, and I won't have to mess with you.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. You can't do that. You cannot expect someone to meet your hostility, your hatred, your aggression, and your violence with peace. No, we did that. And look what's still happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that any longer. That is no longer the answer. We can no longer be pacifists. We can't do that. You can't be a pacifist when all you're met with is like hatred and aggression and violence. You can't do that. People apparently all they understand is violence. And when you beat up a bully, the bully stops bullying you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna give you a little bit of information about what they said. So Mary Todd is the woman. She was 21. They said she turned herself in today and was charged with 3rd-degree assault. She is the 4th person arrested in connection to the brawl. Also, we have, let me see. Let me get these people. All right. 48-year-old Richard Roberts, 25-year-old Zachary Shipman, and 23-year-old Alan Todd are also facing 3rd-degree assault charges. Yeah. So with that being said, it just should have never made it to that point. Like,
never.
It is so sad that in this world, people don't want to listen and they don't want to take orders.
Exactly.
When you are right, you're right. When you're wrong, you're wrong.
Period. If you are doing something that you're not supposed to do and somebody checks you, take that check-in and move along.
It is okay.
Be humble.
If you're doing be humble. Didn't you learn that in kindergarten when you do something wrong? Go get in the corner.
Exactly. Think about what you did.
Think about what you did.
The problem is this: there is no accountability. There's a think about
Exactly.
what you did. However, it's like, okay, listen, I apologize. But the thing of it is, what are you apologizing for? If you can't
Exactly.
tell me what you're apologizing to me for, you don't really apologize. You're not apologetic for your actions. You don't comprehend what you have done to understand why it was wrong. What they did was wrong.
Yeah. It
And
was just wrong.
they were humbled violently when they
Yeah, I
should have
hate to
been
say it.
humbled logically. I
Exactly.
tell everyone, I will speak to you logically before I speak to you with violence.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can't,
So Tanja said they'll think about it next time. I do agree. Taylor said, I mean that for the people that jumped on him. Absolutely.
very much
Tanja
so,
said, if you respond with violence, then this would be swept under the rug. Our people had to fight, and we are here today.
very much so.
Taylor said, I just love the way community came together for this young man.
Period.
That's not the way privilege responds.
Hmm.
Tanja said, I'm waiting for them to add the special circumstances on this. It was racially motivated and it could have resulted in death. Keep them empty apologies
Facts. And
if they had not responded.
I really
Absolutely.
feel like he was a man of high standard, and they knew this because,
Mm-hmm.
like they said, that he had been there before. And as a black man of high standing, they felt like, who you think you really are?
Mm-hmm.
You know
Well,
what?
because, that's how the privilege works. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just no way you could have more privilege than I have, and you can't have a higher power than me on any circumstance. So you can't tell me what to do.
Facts. And that's sad. And it's just like, and like you said, this was an older gentleman.
Yeah,
People would never. When you actually have respect for the people around you, and especially your elders, you would never behave in that fashion. You would never. Who were these people? His kids. So you wonder why they act the way that they did, because he acts the way that he did.
exactly. Which draws me to this next point. So, if for those that don't know, this family owns a mini mart in Selma. So I'm more than sure that a lot of black patrons have to come in and get gas and buy items, because you're a convenience store. But why would you do something like this when you have to deal with every race? Like, don't discriminate when it comes to money. Well, usually people don't, but you want people to spend their money with you, but you want to disrespect them? That don't work like that.
I mean, let's really talk about it. If you want to talk about it, it goes on every day.
It does. It
It goes
does.
on every day. It goes on with people being able to infiltrate the black communities and put their stores in here, and yet be surrounded with bulletproof glass.
Um,
You know what I'm saying?
so we're gonna get off the subject just a touch, but it's not really off the subject. So there was a documentary that we took part in just yesterday.
Yesterday. Yep.
And it's about the young lady that was shot in the convenience store over an orange juice that she wasn't even stealing
A
in
dollar,
California.
$1.79.
Exactly. And watching that documentary, it was just so sad because this young lady had dreams and she was really, everyone held her to a high standard because she was the one always telling them about how she was going to be a lawyer, and she
Mm-hmm.
would always, keep their spirits up. She was motivation to them, and
Positivity.
they took her from from her family. And not only that, but the lady who was of Chinese descent only got community service.
400 hours. No jail time. And it wasn't the first time that she had done this to all these kids.
Yes, one of the people talked about how she had pulled guns on them before, and it was just horrible. So the fact that you own a convenience store and you're acting this way lets me know that you're very irresponsible. And
Mm-hmm.
allegedly, you came on your page to say that you had nothing to do with this brawl, which let me pull those screenshots up. You had nothing to do with the brawl, which you should have just kept quiet
Exactly.
and not said anything.
Only hear
But
dogs
you
holler.
yeah, but you want to add your lies and deception in there. And once you added your lies and deception and the people called you out, then the real true you came out. So as
Mm-hmm.
you can see right here, the owner of the Vizier Mini Mart alleged messages says, I don't need you people's money. I prefer the superior white dollars. Okay. Okay.
Them reviews, all 1 stars
Okay.
now. Ain't nobody going nowhere. They might have to shut down soon.
And someone said, wait, sir, I thought all dollars are green.
Mm-hmm.
And someone else said, you'll heal up from that A whooping eventually. Thoughts and prayers. But like, that is just so classless.
Mm-hmm.
So classless. Like, I've never seen a group of people that do not want to accept the responsibility of doing something wrong. Stop lying so much. If you just do wrong, you do wrong, and accept it and say, hey, all right, well, I'm going to be the bigger person and I'm going to fix it because it's me that's the problem, no one else.
Exactly. And it's not
Like, can
even
we
being
stop doing that?
it's not even it's holding yourself accountable for your own actions. It's being responsible for the person that you are and responsible for what you put out in the universe. It is saying that
Exactly.
it's saying, you know what, you're right. I've done wrong. Let me correct my wrong and do what I'm supposed to be doing. My apologies. I'm gonna call it a day.
Miss Gamble, thank you for tuning in.
Hola,
Ramonda
hola, hola.
says, it's been a long time coming. What do you expect when you wake the sleeping giant? Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor said, not in Selma.
Just
Taylor
child.
said, every day, everywhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Tanya said, they don't like us. They
Nope.
only tolerate us when others are looking.
And when
What
we're
a
spending our money.
Yes, what a powerful word. We need to stop spending our money
Period.
at these stores. That you're telling the truth, because why would I spend my money there for it to benefit you when you don't even respect me as a person?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
that is so hypocritical. That is so hypocritical, because I'm telling you, the documentary is short and sweet, but it was so sad to see that this young lady life had been taken over a little of nothing. Like
$1.79.
$1.79.
Mm-hmm.
So we also know that during the brawl, we had a chair to become famous, and we're gonna pull up the fifth person, Mr. Reggie Ray, that was arrested because he was trying to defend himself
Exactly.
along with two other people that were with him.
Exactly.
From our understanding, it's his girlfriend and maybe I think it was a cousin, and these were two women. I mean, when you are being attacked, what do you expect someone to do? Because at the end of the day, they do have the stand your ground law, which means a firearm is involved. A chair, though, baby, a chair is much better than a firearm.
Exactly. Exactly. It would have been major damage done if anybody had brought a weapon, be it a pew pew or a knife. Nonetheless, a chair was involved. And they're making such a big deal about this chair. What about the woman that was being held in a chokehold? No one's speaking about her.
Exactly. And Tanya said they need that money for bail money and commissary. You people gonna be they bunkmates in the county. Come
You
on
know
with it.
what? You know what's people at the county, the ambulance, they so petty, and I respect their gangster. They took them with their injuries to the blackest hospital.
I can't be mad at them. Everybody wanted them to get what they deserved because it didn't make no sense what they did.
Exactly.
Miss Ramonda said, I don't condone violence, but I'm real big on protecting me and my family and friends at all costs. When we, melanated people, start doing an eye for eye, then maybe they will humble themselves. I,
Period.
I totally agree. Like
Period.
it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand exactly what you just said. You don't mess
Mhm.
with me, I will
You gonna
not
mess
mess with you.
like I
But
said.
it is I could do a story every single day what has happened. Let's not get on these Karens because they are like some of the worst ones.
Karens, Kens, Becky's, Roberta's, all of y'all. Like for what? Just for people existing? No, no, thank you.
Tasha said, where's Ray's GoFundMe page? Let's throw some money at him for his legal fund. Well, you know
Period.
what? I'm glad you said that because I definitely got to bring up the fact that Reggie is being um looked after by one of the best lawyers, Mr. Lee Merritt Esquire,
Okay.
in the world and
Okay.
in the history of lawyers. So
Esquire.
let me just bring that up. I condone violence when you are protecting yourself.
Period.
Okay. Let me pull up Mr. Lee Merritt Esquire. If y'all don't know, Lee Merritt is a civil rights attorney lawyer.
Mhm.
um he got a major story, y'all, like the things that he's went through. Like basically a lot of people in his family were jailed, and he's like the only one that made it out. And
Okay.
when yeah, even his father was in jail, but when he made it out, he decided that he was going to fight for human rights, and that's what he's been doing along with Sean King.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful. That's nice.
yeah, and he's one of the best. Like when I tell you, he has helped so many families when it comes to violence towards melanated people. It's just ridiculous. Like if you ever get a chance, go follow him online. I'm about to pull him up in a few minutes. Um, and they say they inboxes and emails be overrun,
I bet.
literally overrun
I mean, can you
with
imagine like all the
situations.
injustices done to melanated people in this country? And it's just like you want someone that is proper, that's going to fight for you, that's going to like get you the true justice that you deserve as a person. You know what I'm saying? So when you have people like that, of course it's going to be overflowing with like needs and wants.
Yeah, and it's sad because it's not too many of them out there.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when we have people that's fighting for us, we already know what the outcome usually is. I don't have to say it.
Yeah, it's pretty much. However, when you have those good ones and they will truly fight the good fight, because I don't, not for nothing, you're mad, you should have been there.
Mm-hmm.
A woman got hit with a chair. A woman was fighting with a man and she got hit with a chair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, don't involve yourself in space. I would never involve myself in a man's fight. That's on y'all.
Right.
Y'all grown behind men. Y'all do what y'all going to do. I'm going to keep my lady self over here and mind my
Mm-hmm.
business. When the ladies come to play, I'll come to play with them, but not with you because you're a grown man.
This was put up a week ago, where the community had raised $9,432 of the $10,000 goal. Now, this is what Mr. Lee said. Thank you. More money donated than likes on the post. Our community is unmatched. Priority cautions to not get into the legal aspects of my client's claims, each whom have been hired a local criminal defense attorney. However, this response will allow impacted members of our community to cover bills and assert their legal rights. Reggie Ray should be released shortly. We will provide updates on his status and how the funds are used in his and others' claims.
Good. That's wonderful.
I'm thankful.
I'm sorry because I feel like none of
I'm thankful.
I don't feel like anyone that responded to violence should be held accountable. Because they were responding. It's self-defense. There were 5-6 people on that one man. That was all self-defense. All of it was. Those that initiated the violence, they need to be held accountable. Because if not for them like starting with it, it never would have come to that conclusion.
It shouldn't have never even got like that. But let me also read this, what he also said. He said, as of early this morning, each of our clients who faced arrest as a result of their alleged involvement in the incident at the Montgomery riverfront have been released from jail. The criminal charges involved amount to no more than misdemeanors if outright dismissal is not warranted. The Community Response and Recovery Fund has raised $156,172 thus far. A team of attorneys, investigators, and professional service providers are working to ensure their needs are met. This is the same guy who also fought for the young man that was running and got caught up with those bad supremacist men that took him out for no reason at all. Like, if you want to follow him, here's just a look in on his page real quick, because he is doing the work, y'all. He is doing the work. He is doing the work of about 15 people. He do have some people behind him, but y'all, he is doing a great work. There he is right there, y'all. Ahmaud Arbery. He listen, this is such a shame. This young man should still be here, but he's working with that family, and I can't tell you how many families he have worked with.
There was just another incident like that a couple of days ago. My father showed it to me about I want to say it was a FedEx driver dropping off a package, and people decided to chase him because they were I just saw it on the news a couple of days ago. It's like, when is that mentality going to stop? That entitlement, you are no longer entitled to our spaces. Exactly. You are no longer entitled to an explanation. You are no longer entitled to feel like you are better than myself. I hold a higher position than you do, so you will respect my position. These things are they're not being ingrained, and they're being like refuted against because of entitlement. Like, you can't be better than me because of who you're supposed to be to me. So it's like, if you get out of that mindset, then things can change and get better. But it's just like, you have to stop thinking in that way. Just do as my position is allowing me to tell you to do. That's all. No matter if I'm black, white, Hispanic, anything.
He also helped with this case with this Andrew Lester. He is now behind bars. I don't care if you're 3,000 years old, baby. If you do wrong, you need to go to jail. And that's just what it is. He shot Ralph Yarl. And so, I mean, he had no reason to shoot that young man.
At all.
But he did.
And he needs to go to jail and be responsible and accountable for what he's done. You're taking a life for no reason. Can you imagine? People are not thinking about this logically. If there had never been anyone around, what could have happened to that man?
He could have got thrown in the water and all type of stuff.
Like, if people did not step in and assist him, what could have happened to him? Everyone is so focused on a reaction. That's a problem. You're focusing on a reaction. Let's talk about the action that caused the reaction. Why did you feel the need to incite violence?
Exactly.
And jump the old man.
And in that situation with the young man I was just showing, do y'all remember when the young man showed up to the wrong house to go get his sister? That's it right there. He pulled a gun out on him. Mind you, another melanated woman was killed that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not a joke. So I know everything has been talked about and we've laughed about, all the memes and all that stuff, but this is actually nothing that's funny
It's not.
because it could have went left
Now,
easy.
don't get it wrong. Black people find that humor brings peace, and humor is it's
Yes.
grieving
Yes.
process, because we have grieved for so long, and we need to find the
Yes.
humor in things to get over it and find
Exactly.
community. That's all fine, well, and good. That's a Black understanding that people don't comprehend, and they always talk trash about. However, that's how we heal as a people.
Exactly.
Through laughter and community in that fashion. However, this was no laughing matter.
Right. Miss Brown said, at least these thugs live to see their loved ones again. You know
Hello,
what to say, because a lot of ours don't.
hello.
A lot of ours don't. They are them with entitlement, therefore they feel entitled.
Very much so.
Very much so. I mean, at the end of the day, it's horrible what this world has turned into. Not really what it has turned into, what they have decided to show us
Facts.
close and personal.
Facts.
Because y'all know, just like I know, them people had no business. I'm talking no business going onto the Capitol steps, inside the Capitol building. People passed away that day.
Yes.
But yet and still they want to keep sweeping that situation under the rug as well.
Very much so. And it's like they never branded them. They brand Black Lives Matter as a band of thugs.
Mm-hmm.
They incite violence upon peaceful protests that we hold. I say we because I go to protests. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm that one. I don't just talk,
Mm-hmm.
I walk it. However, they opened the doors on January 6th for them.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed them to walk in and do all the violence. You tried to unalive the VP. You're coming for Nancy Pelosi. Like, come on now, y'all incited that violence, and there's no terroristic, nothing about that. That's just everyday madness.
Exactly. And from reading and understanding a lot about this situation, I come to find out that they said it was a family reunion on the boat. Mind you, it's 200 people on this boat. They do this every single day. Like, this is something they do all the time. But yet and still, there's one group of people that's always coming and keeping up trouble, have decided that they're not going to move their boat. Your boat does not dock there. What are you doing?
Well, I guess karma was like, I feel the need to work today. And because you have been acting a whole fool in the past, today I have an attitude, and you are going to see the wrath that you need to see.
Today is the day.
It is the day. It truly is.
Yeah, today was the day.
But sometimes people actually truly need to be humbled.
Exactly.
They really, really do need to be humbled. And also, I can't say this enough. I am so tired of the complacency of our people. I am tired of the turn the other cheek. I'm tired of the be the bigger person. I am tired of the we have to be better. No, I'm going to meet you at your level. That's how I live. I'm
At some point, it seems like it have to turn into that, because at some point, like, when are you going to stop stomping on me? Like, even a dog gets tired of being mistreated.
Mm-hmm.
Come on
exactly.
now.
You really do. And I tell people, I live like Malcolm. Love Martin to life. I live like Malcolm. It's my people before everyone. Hear me. My people before everyone. And I will do unto others as they do unto me. You treat me with respect, I will treat you with respect.
I
Period.
mean,
That's all you gotta do.
Look, oh my God, that's exactly when it went down. He's
Just for no reason.
explaining. Exactly. He is explaining to the man, you need to get your boat. You can see it, the way the man on the left is looking at this still shot. Like,
Like
I can't
why?
believe you just did that. Exactly.
For what? For what?
Exactly.
What is the rationale? What is the rationale of this man doing his job? He's
Mm-hmm.
doing his job. He is trying to dock a boat. And
Exactly.
you are doing something that you are not supposed to be doing. Just humble yourself and get out of the way.
And
That's
get
all.
out of the way. Tons, you're right. The mother that was shot in Florida through the closed door. Yes,
Mhm,
they Lee Merritt and them is still fighting for her because
mhm.
they wanted to drop the charges because they didn't have all the evidence. The evidence is the children that actually saw their mother get shot.
Exactly.
Like, let's stop doing that. Like, I'm so sick of our justice system justifying
Exactly.
certain people.
Exactly. And their actions.
Exactly.
And then you turn around and you quote false facts to justify your actions towards a particular group of people, and your unjust and unconstitutional and inhumane unalivings every day.
Exactly. It was wrong, every which way. And at the end of the day, I feel like I'm glad they came to the rescue
You
of
and
the
me
man.
both. You and
I'm
me both.
glad that they finally stood up and did
You and me
something
both.
and said, hey, not today.
Yes, it was a pure sense of community for me. Because more often than not, we will sit on the sidelines, record and talk all kinds of stuff and rah rah sis boom bah. But on that good day, we said not today. And then everyone came together, no matter who you were, no matter who you were there with, no matter if you was beefing with the next one for the same day, for whatever reason, everyone came together and assisted this man that was being jumped.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do jumping.
Nope.
That's what
Nope.
we don't do jumping. We don't do that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
It was a beautiful thing.
And before we get off of this subject, because we definitely got something that we want to go ahead and bring up, for the people that didn't hear the song, wait a minute.
Oh, I love the
Tanja
song
said
now.
we need to stop reducing ourselves and our responses.
Facts.
Actions speak volume.
Facts.
We ain't got to explain the why. You saw it.
Period.
Exactly.
I love how she sang.
Exactly.
Love it.
I love it too. I
Love
love
it.
it too.
She my kind of girl.
Exactly. And for the people still on here, I should have played it while everybody was on here, but they'll get a whiff of it. Here is our version of Fade in the Water.
They caught a fade in the water. Fade in the water, children. Fade in the water. They flipped around and found out in that water. They caught a fade in the water.
I mean, it's hilarious. I'm sorry.
In the water, children.
It is a little bit, a little something, something.
In the water. They flipped around and found out in that water. They
Change
caught a
the meaning. Remix it a little bit.
fade in the
Remix it a little bit.
Water. Yeah, yeah. This the last one,
in the
y'all.
water,
Let it marinate. Let it
A little bit,
marinate in your
little bit, little
spirit.
something,
in the
something.
water.
Change the meaning.
They flipped
Uplift you.
around and found out in that water.
All right. All right. But hey, when you deserve it, it is what it is. But in other news, and the reason why I want to highlight this one situation is because y'all gave my girl Shakari Richardson pure D hell, pure D hell when she lost.
Big
But baby, ain't
trash.
nobody hardly talking about now. She is the champion of the world, Craig.
The fastest woman in the what? The world. The world, the globe, period. Like everything.
There she go.
Everybody.
Record-breaking Shakari Richardson wins a 100-meter championship. She is the best in the world. Come on with it.
Out of everybody.
Come on with it.
Out of everybody. Long nails.
Out of everybody.
Long nails, long hair, don't care. She's still number one.
She's still number one. I'm talking
Authentically
about,
herself. Number
that's
one.
right. 10.65 seconds to win the gold at the World Athletics Championship on Monday night.
Girl.
In Hungary, may I add.
Girl.
So they of course they interviewed her, and of course she had to talk about she wasn't doing this for the world because she's seen the world embrace her and then turn on her. So
Right.
this ain't for them, and I totally understand it. I totally get that because that's exactly how things are done here in this world. First they
Exactly.
embrace you, but you can't make a mistake because as soon as you make a mistake, oh, they gonna put you up under the rug.
To
But
the
when you do
wolves.
something to the wolves, they're gonna
To the
throw you
wolves.
clean under the bus. But when you do something good, nobody hardly talks about it.
I want people need to be as loud in their apology to this young, beautiful woman as they were in their disrespect of this young and beautiful woman. Okay.
Exactly.
Do you know people? It's like y'all didn't even comprehend what that young lady was going through. Apparently, she found out on air that her mother was no longer with us. Do you know the psychological trauma that girl had went through?
Huh.
And you would think that her blowing some tree would make y'all feel better about your else, but it made y'all feel worse. No.
Well, and it's been something that has always been a part of our history. We're not we're not allowed to feel
at all.
We're not supposed to feel like we're not supposed to hurt. We're not supposed to
grieve, show emotion, none of that.
grieve or none of those things. Like we're supposed to stay strong. Like
take it and move on.
Yeah.
Get over it. We are the only people in life that are ever told to get over it. And that bothers me.
Of course it does, because it's crazy. But for those who haven't seen it, we're about to show this wonderful race where Sha'Carri just took off, baby, like a jet. I'm talking about, first of all, she was not winning at first, but if you know Sha'Carri, you've been following her, you know that she got something about herself, and she turned this just certain jet on. And when that jet turned on,
she be reserving that she reserves it for when she really needs it. You know what I'm saying? People just be off go. Like she's very cool, calm, and calculated.
Yeah.
And that's just how she moves. Just how she moves.
I love that.
I love it. I love it.
All right, let's check this out.
A sight to behold.
100. This looked a lot.
That's her at the very end.
This is such an amazing race, and it's made.
Get her. Look at him. Look at that posture. Look at that posture.
Outside lane. And there is the realization.
Wow.
That leg, though. The leg.
One more time. One more time.
This looked a lot like that. This is
look
such
how her
an
entire
amazing
posture
race, and it's made
changed.
even better
Look at
by
that.
the fact that she did it from the outside lane. And there is the realization.
I'm
talking about like she crossed before the other lady did, like boom, just like that.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was
the
beautiful.
Fastest woman in the entire world.
It was beautiful. Look at her, y'all. She's so happy.
Yes.
And I'm very happy for her.
It's beautiful.
Because guess what? We are more than just an arrest. We are more than just someone who has passed over violence. We're more than all of those things. Like, we got a lot to offer to the world if you just allow us to do it.
Exactly. People gotta remember, you are more than your mistakes.
Exactly.
You have to understand you are more than your mistakes. Your mistakes make who you are as a person. That's it's how you overcome your mistakes, what you strive to become, and who you actually do become. That's how you honor yourself. You don't rest. You don't rest in a mistake. You don't rest in sadness. You don't rest in negativity. You don't sit there. You be like, okay, how you doing? And you keep it pushing. That's exactly what she did. And she is so much better for it. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, we got one more person, and actually, he is not the only one. It's a young lady that won the discus as well. First time
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
First time ever.
A trifecta.
So let's talk about Mr. Jonathan. Isn't that his name, Jonathan?
Noah Lyles.
That's what I meant to say. No allows. No allows. Yeah, the guy who talked about it, his name is Jonathan. But yes,
Yeah.
this is Mr. Lyles, honey. Let me pull him up real quick.
Fastest man in the world. Out of
Because
everybody.
he did his thing as well, and I'm so proud of them.
Yes.
I'm just
USA
so
all
proud of
day.
them.
USA all day. Love
Because
it.
a lot of the times they don't like to talk about this type of stuff, but we are more than a brawl, honey.
Yes.
Look at him, y'all.
Yes. Look at that young man. Look at that young man.
So he evidently took off and done his thing as well. So he is a champion as well
Mm-hmm.
in the World Athletics Championship with a 9.83 second race.
I don't think I could walk from my upstairs to downstairs in 9.3 seconds.
Ooh, honey, you got to be. Ooh.
Let alone do what he did. Like
I'm talking about
it is
fast.
a beautiful thing to be held. It really is. It really, really
talking
is.
about fast. Fast. Let me see.
I didn't know about the other girl, the other young lady. I knew nothing about that.
The discus, well, it ended up coming into my feed one day, and I was just like, wow, this is pretty awesome.
That's that ball toss, that thing they do, the discus.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now listen, I ain't got time. You got to be strong for that because them balls is heavy.
Yeah,
they really, really are. So, claps to her as well. Claps to her as well.
Let me see if I can find this young lady, but I'm just so proud of them. Like everything don't have to be a negative when it comes to us. Like stop thinking that just because you hear it on the news, because the news is looking for clicks, they do anything for clout as well now. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Let me find her right quick so I can just give y'all a nice little cute look on who she is. Mm-hmm.
I really didn't know. I didn't know anything about the discus throw. I only for the. I watched the races. I love the gymnastics. I'm more of a gymnastics fan than anything else, so I don't really watch like the discus throws and things like that. So I never heard about that before.
Right. I definitely understand. Right. So I just got to give props to these people for doing their thing. Like they got it going on.
Yes.
All right. So I can't pronounce her name, so I'm gonna let you take a whack at it, Sunshine. Because honey, it's one of those. I mean, I don't know it.
Send it to me so I can look at it up close and personal. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'ma try.
You finna see. Can you see it? Lalaga
Saga Collins.
Yes.
Lau. Yeah, there you go.
Yep, first women's discus world championship.
Get it? Okay. Congratulations to you.
Come on, go ahead.
You look at her arms, like she got it. Wham.
Yeah. She did that. Look at her. Ooh, look at that determination, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
They said she beat her previous personal best by nearly 4 meters. I love it.
Y'all got that?
I love it.
Listen, Do your thing. The USA is doing its thing right now.
Yes, and the USA, listen, embrace all these great things. Just embrace it and watch how good this world turn out. Stop all of the violent, negative talk, and let's call it exactly what it is, because the real thugs are in Congress, may I add.
Period.
And while we're talking about that, and we're not going to talk much about it, but I just want to say this. Where was Donald Trump last night?
Donald Trump was getting ready to head down to the ATL, head down to Georgia to get booked and busy and get his mugshot taken.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
That's what he was. Ready to get his mugshot taken. However, I did, if no one else did, I did happen to watch the Republican debates last night.
So as I.
And I'm not going to lie, Nikki Haley and Chris Christie, they did their thing last night. I'm not going to lie. Nikki Haley, more than anyone, she held it down. She was eloquent. She had her precise talking points. She did not deflect. She held steady to her grounds. Like, she really, really did her thing last night. That's all I can say. Go back. It was on Fox last night. Go watch the highlights. You need to be informed.
Need to be informed. Don't allow people to just tell you anything. Always fact check.
Period.
Fact check.
Triple fact check.
Yep. It says Trump surrenders at Atlanta jail in election interference case. You heard what they said now. Election interference case. Which means
we all know what went down in 2020.
Yeah.
We all know what went down.
They say he was booked on racketeering charges. And he left 20 minutes later.
Yes. Got that mugshot.
At the end of the day, like, where is the morality?
There is none.
Where's the morality now?
He screamed, lock her up, lock her up. Look at karma. Locked him up, didn't they?
Well, you see what the man says right here? Let the reckoning begin. So these are just a few snapshots. We don't really want to get into this, but we just want to say, when people are doing wrong, go after them. Go after them. It doesn't matter how much power, how much money they got. Wrong is wrong and right is right, as in the same with the fade in the water. Well, that is all our time tonight. We just wanted to hit on those special points and let everybody know how we felt about the fade in the water. You have anything else to say, Sunshine?
I just want to say, even with this, especially with this Donald Trump thing going on, I want everyone to be safe.
Exactly.
People are radical and they can be violent. I just want everyone to be safe, stay safe. COVID is back. Mask up, sanitize up, quarantine as much as you can.
Yes.
Love who loves you. Love yourself. Just be safe.
Be safe. Be safe. All right. And thank you guys for once again tuning in with us for another episode of Raw Emotions. We will see you guys next time. And with that being said, I must play it one more time.
Fade in the water. Fade in the water, children. Fade in the water. They fucked around and found out in that water. They caught a fade in the water. Fade in the water, children. Fade in the water. They fucked around and found out in that water.
All right. Y'all have a good night.